matinee match is about to get underway. It's SV, it's Akatu. They're both ready to go. So let's get this game number 1 underway, Merlando, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And identical openings from both players. Same pieces, of course, confirmed. So let us go ahead and get some good old introductions. Love introductions. Love them because they fill time. And also you get to know about the players in case this might be your first time here. So starting out on the left-hand side, a roller from the United Kingdom with a PB of 5.98 million points. Started competing in the CTL all the way back in the CTL Infinite days. Back when that was a thing. Has been in Division 1 consistently since Season 18. Runner-up in Season 21. That is the only playoff finals he's been to. Got as far as the semifinals in Season 23 and has made the playoffs in each of the last 2 seasons. Hoping to make that 3 with a win here today. Really pushing the possibility of that. It is Sam Vaughn, SV. And his opponent, keyboard rolling out of Finland with a PB of 2.17 million points. One of our newer faces in Division 1 competition. Only got promoted in Season 29 after what has been a meteoric rise. Only started competing in CTL in Season 22. Was the winner of the Champions Summit in Season 25. And this is his second Division 1 campaign. Did take a bit of a break from the world of CTL after Season 29, but is now back. And back with a vengeance. It is Akatu. So, Merlando, you've seen both of these players play a lot, I'm sure. What is your sort of view going into this match? Because, I mean, they have played each other regularly in the past few months, but Akatu has sort of shown consistent improvement as of recent, especially since he came back off a bit of a comp break. And of course, Sam also been very strong. So what's your view going into this?
Yeah, I really think that this is one of the closest matchups that we can have here in this Division 1 here. Sam getting really high up here.
Yeah, we'll say that, but let's see if Sam can get out of this. Oh, doesn't get that L piece over! Oh, no, that's not how we want to start. Sam topping out at 145. Didn't even mention it because I really thought he was going to get out of that. But unfortunately not to be. Akatu will take the opening game here. 2, 1, Tetris. Both players received high ranks in the most recent edition of the community-driven Premier Poll, which ranks the current best players of Classic Tetris based off of their recent form and game performances. Sam was ranked 9th with over 300 points given from various votes. Akatu ranked 13th, has been consistently being ranked around the top 15 as of recent. I believe that 13th is the highest rank he has held. Sam setting up a dirty Tetris here, but needing an L piece on the left to burn down with, but not quite getting it.
Yeah, it's been a rough early start here for Sam. First, that early top in game number 1. And now definitely ceding the pace here a little bit. Although, dirty Tetris there.
Yeah, so
on the right-hand side.
Yeah, so keeping the pressure up just a little bit on Akatu. It is currently neck and neck as things stand for a brief moment there, but yeah, pretty close out of the gate for both players, but Akatu with the stronger board and better scoring potential so far. 146 to 136. Akatu leads.
Yeah, going back to that Premier Poll, SV in 9th, 1 spot lower than in January. was 8th, and then Akatu was 15th, so moved up 2 spots in February. So our players getting a little bit closer together in terms of their rankings.
Yeah, I mean, the Premier Pool especially, things can shift in an instant because it sort of, as a pollster myself, a lot of what we look at is especially recent form and how they've been doing in the past 3 to 6 months, because of course things can shift over time and players can come and go, of course. But of course, Akatu with some really strong performances throughout Classic Tetris as of recent. Of course, after coming back off of a month or so comp break, got to round 4 of CTM Masters back in October. Also had a pretty deep run in November too, and of course has started out pretty decently in his return season to CTL. Of course, beating Knight, who has been consistently ranked as a top 10 player recently, and has had some strong performances of her own throughout this season so far. 288 for Akatu, 265 for SV, as we're now about 60 to 70 lines in here.
Yeah, but now it is SV with the better board. Akatu gonna be able to get out of this, but just continually burning lines here. Sam set up for another Tetris here. Akatu finally gonna burn out of this here for another Tetris, but very neck and neck here early on.
Yeah, this is what you were saying as well. We're probably expecting a pretty close match, and so far we are getting that in game 2. Tetris Akatu now to go up to 365. Both players with nice, clean boards so far. Nice delayed burn there from SV. Good setup with that flat Z piece. And we'll get another Tetris to go to 382, and we'll be the first to 400k with the back-to-back.
Yeah, SV really recovering here from the rough start. Gonna nail that Z-spin as well. So showing some really good board vision here with these delayed burns and spin setups.
Yeah, and that's something that's really important at this level. Not only, of course, just your raw stacking ability and your potential to score and your aggression, but being able to see openings and sort of, in addition to that, sort of see 4 or 5 multiple pieces into the future and try to accommodate as much as possible. It is a crucial skill to learn at all levels of Tetris. And a nice dirty column 3 there from SV. Akatu also with a Tetris. Both players in at around 500k now as we're about to gear up to the level 19 transition here shortly. Sam with a double long bar dependency, plugs one with a J piece, fills in the other with a bar. Akatu's board is clean. They're just waiting for the long bar to come. Bit of a small drought forming here for both players, but Akatu gets the bar not too long after and gets a Tetris and another Tetris to go in at 575. Sam's been liking the dirty Tetrises as of recent, and he's going for another. We'll transition in at 514.
Yeah, Sam doing a really good job here. Dirty Tetris there on the right side, couple rows off the bottom. But Akatu, really nice clean board here, set up for another Tetris. And we'll get it.
Tetris Akatu again, 660. Now ahead by 2 Tetrises over Sam at the moment.
Akatu does have, with that Tetris, about 6-7 lines in hand here, but that's right around 2 Tetrises worth of scoring potential. So real-time lead, but also increased pace lead as well.
Yeah, that is always a good position to be in if you're playing a match. If you're ahead in score but behind in lines, then you have that further sort of cushion that you have. Then, and you can approach that 2 ways. You can maybe play a bit safer if you're sort of ahead by quite a bit, or alternatively, you can try and ramp up that aggression and put the pressure on your opponent to try and be more efficient in their own play to try to catch up to your pace. And at this level, we often do see the ladder be employed. And it looks like that's continuing as Akatu now on 783 at line 175. Sam on 736 at line 182. Nice S-spin, though, for Sam to open back up the well. In a bit of a drought, though, and needs that bar to come as soon as possible. But that S is only going to burn a single, and Sam! It's going to be done at 738. The bar just wouldn't come. And Akatu taking game 2 here, moving to match points. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Adam MTS is a good shout. And of course, going back to the OG days, you of course had Svavar, who was cold as ice back in the day. Not as much now. He has sort of softened up a bit with age.
Yeah, Svavar is always a hoot to be around at the Northeast regionals, especially.
Oh, yeah.
That one's always fun.
Went drinking with them after a meetup for CTWC. What a guy. So in the event of a sweep, you earn 7 points in CTL for a 3-0 win. It's 7 points that are shared across both players based off of the overall result. So for example, if it was 3-2, then the winner would get 5 and the loser would get 2. So 7 points would be crucial for both player seasons. It would, if it was a case where Sam would have swept, it would have been bringing him up to 17. But Akatu with the potential to go up to 14 points, which would put him level with Alice for points, and that would be for tied third.
Yeah, I'd say the win here, especially with a sweep, Akatu, it would really benefit from that. On the outside, looking in right now, that tie with Alice, and would also have the tiebreaker because of the head-to-head matchup there.
Yeah, exactly. And how the playoffs work, in especially if it's a couple of fairly big divisions like we have here, the top 3 in each division and overall points at the end of it are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs and are seeded accordingly. And then there are 2 wildcard places, which are given to the 2 players with the highest points outside. So that could be 2 players from Division 1A, that could be 2 players from Division 1B, or could be in one of each. So you'll be seeing more talk about wildcard spots and the playoffs as we get further in, as now we are just about getting into the second half of the season. But yeah, every match counts and every point counts as well, and every dropped game matters. 238 for Sam, 219 for Akatu, so pretty close game so far again.
Yeah, looking ahead to tomorrow with your host. Well, you're hosting again, but Thursday Thunder.
Yep.
That second, Sam's playing again against Floxe, so would hope to possibly recover from the match here today, and then Scooty against Knight. So depending on the result here, could have implications for SV and Akatu in terms of that third place spot, or even just the total points for one of those wild card spots.
Yeah, that match should be pretty fun, especially that would be a rematch of CTUK 2025 top 8 between SV and Floxe.
Did you get either one of those players at the AdamIrish experience live or no?
Yep, Floxe was there. Finished third. Sam was going to, but his work prevented him. But we'll book him in for the second one. Don't worry about that.
It's always work.
412 for Sam, 394 for Akatu.
Yeah, Sam here just a little bit more efficient here. Another great tuck setup for that Z-tuck. And just maintaining around a 2.5 Tetris lead here on Akatu.
Yeah, this is, of course, must win now in this Game 3 situation, not only for the match, but coming into this, Sam had a perfect match record, 2 wins from 2, looking to try to make it 3 for 3. Try to keep up with what has seemed like, especially in the league phase in the past few seasons, the unstoppable, immovable object of Blue Scooty.
Well, Sam's first 2 wins were in deciders, so potential reverse sweep here would follow that pattern.
Yeah.
Scooty with 3 wins from 3, but all of those in sweeps. So really in the points lead there, getting 7 points from each of those matches there.
Yeah, and you mentioned deciders. Division 1A has really been the division of deciders with, I mean, there's, of course, if you're looking at the table, you can see that Alice, every single one of her matches so far has gone to Game 5. In addition, as well, ID Kirby, 0-3 in terms of match record. All 3 of those losses came in Game 5s against Critical Apis, Floxy, and Sam. So all the players going the distance here, it seems. 639 for Sam, 598 for Akatu. Both these players rank pretty highly in terms of their success rate in getting from these 19 speeds to the level 29 transition. Akatu is ranked 6th from all active players who are tracked for the their 29 transition percent. It is ranked at 96.5% of the time. Sam also ranked really high at 93.7%, which is also in the top 10. Sam 864, Akatu 750. Both players now in level 24, and this is some great efficiency here from both players, but especially from Sam here with now a 926. And the possibility of getting a max out into level 26 here, potentially.
Yeah, Sam's really kept the efficiency going here in the post-transition phase. And once again, setting up dirty, gonna burn it away, but keeping the creative stacking going here.
And a nice Akibar there from Akatu. I mean, is back by about 4.5 Tetrises, so is gonna have to sort of pick up the pace here, even though, of course, both these players can do level 29. It is sort of a real test of attrition once it gets there, and being as close as possible, of course, nets you at least a little bit of breathing room. Max out here for Sam, now an A65, Akatu 922. And Sam now crossing 1.1 million points.
Yeah, these dirty Tetrises for Sam have really allowed him to just keep the efficiency up. Couple more burns from Akatu, and I mean, what was 2.5 Tetrises going into transition is now about 5.
Yeah, Sam now first into level 29, still at B55. Akatu with the max A38. But now set up for a Tetris here to try to break into that lead up, and will get the Tetris. So let's see what both players can do here. Sam and Akatu both keeping the board nice and low, but I always say 29 can be a bit of a game of chicken sometimes on who's going to try to go for Tetris first. Akatu seems to be up for it, getting another Tetris here, and has already cut this lead down to just a Tetris and a half when it was 5 Tetrises going in. But Sam also going for it, getting a Tetris first to 1.2. Akatu responding right back. So Sam's looking to say, anything you can do, I can do too, in terms of these Tetrises here, but doesn't get that S piece all the way over to the left-hand side. Still goes flat with that J piece. Some good stacking choices here from Sam. Akatu also with a bit of clutter on the board. Nice 5-tap there from Sam. Now on C83, Akatu B97. And Sam bringing it back down, but not getting that S piece over again. Has been a bit of a thorn in his side throughout 29 so far, but some really good down stacking here. And now set up with a really good board. Goes in at 1.3 into level 35. Akatu 100,000 points back on C20. Having to deal with a bit of board digging on his own here.
And both players doing really well surviving there. Sam, though, better board state at the moment. Set up for a Tetris, gonna get it.
And that's going to really put the pressure on Akatu here. A 3 Tetris gap with only 3 levels to go before level 30. And level 39, of course, will have the double kill screen rules in it. So that's where more than likely the game is going to end. And Akatu's in trouble here. Couple hangs, and there's not much he can do. Fights well, but tops out at C47. And Sam with a crucial win in Game 3 here to stay alive in the match. And now looking for the 1.5. Give him the bar game. There it is, Tetris. And still going into 39. Gets a couple of line clears to boot. An F54. That's one way to bounce back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
So really great recovery there from Sam, showing us why he's the player that's made it to the playoffs these past 2 seasons.
And also showing why he's the 2-time CTUK champion, current reigning Tetris Friendlies champion. Accolades all over the world of classic Tetris, but Akatu as well. Not only just in classic NES Tetris, has been making waves as well in the Game Boy side of the community. Of course, with accolades in the likes of their World Championships as well. Once held, at one point, held the world record for the highest score in Game Boy Tetris. But it's funny that is also a discipline in which Sam also has some accreditations in. At C2K 2025, they ran a Game Boy Championship. Sam was the top seed in qualifying for that and made it to the top 4 in the tournament itself. Also made it to the finals of that in 2024 too. So both these players well disciplined in multiple aspects of classic Tetris play. Not going to mention yourself, Hepta, in that, no? Our current reigning Game Boy World Champion. 234 for Sam, 194 for Akatu. Nice skim there for Akatu to get the well back open. Gets a Tetris. Those kind of burns can always be super helpful no matter how high you are up on the board. Well, they don't immediately get you fully clean. They are sort of almost a get out of jail free card if you have the opportunity to set one up, because it just gets the well back open, especially when there is a bar waiting. Because even if it doesn't get you fully clean, as long as you have the well open, can get something down there for a Tetris or a triple, then you have further breathing room then to work with to then get cleaned up, which is what Akatu has done here exactly. Gets another Tetris, still pretty close, 375 to 338.
Yeah, just a fairly clean game here for both of our players. Sam, 85% Tetris rate. Akatu not too far behind with the Tetris here, up to 74%.
Trebus saying, do Game Boy players change paths like NES players? Well, of course, Game Boy, the sort of architecture of it is different, but there is rubber pads, I would assume. So I think naturally, like any sort of rubber membrane pad controller, you would need to change it, but it's probably a bit more work to do so than it would be for just your standard NES controller, because, I mean, not only do you have to keep in mind sort of the actual circuit boards and everything, you also have this whole screen and just the whole console itself there. Oh, Sam's up really high here. Does take a crucial double there with that square. Also another double, and survives to live another day with that bar. Gets a Tetris.
Yeah, with Game Boy Tetris, you're not taking apart just the controller, you're taking apart the Game Boy.
Yeah, and Hepta chiming in saying sometimes, but yeah, third-party pads. I mean, like with anything, you have good ones, you have bad ones.
When are we getting Game Boy padless?
I think we're gonna be waiting a while for that. I mean, we still don't have NES padless. Did you get to try out one of those controllers, Merlando? Because I know you've been at some of the regionals where they have been sort of showcasing them.
I actually haven't, unfortunately. Just been always doing other stuff.
I've heard pretty positive stuff about those controllers, though, and of course I'm really excited to see them once they do eventually release to the public. Oh, Akatu's up high. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh no! And Akatu is gonna be done at 495. And Sam with a 641. Just like that is gonna take game 4, so we will be going to game 5. Or will Akatu get the job done in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris! Oh yeah, and 666 as well.
Damn.
So it's an unlucky, devilish, and risque seed. Incredible.
But yeah, so once again, Division 1A, the division of deciders.
Get that on a t-shirt. I can hear King writing notes down as we speak on that.
But yeah, Sam 2-0 in these deciders so far against Kirby and against Knight. And then Akatu currently split on deciders this season with the win against Knight, but lost to Critical Lapis.
And an interesting thing to note here again, did mention these two's head-to-head records. The last time they faced off against each other, the last 2 times actually, have both been deciders. Akatu has one, and Sam has one. So, could really go either way, and that's kind of been the vibe of this match so far. We've seen both players have dominant spells in games, strong leads, really strong play as well. So, yeah, this one could really go either way here, but it is Sam with the stronger start, 163 to 101. Akatu with a bit of a dig at the moment. What's up, Mudus, our chairman emeritus in the building.
So both players here with around a 65% winning percentage in deciders. For SV, that is about what his win percentage is. Akatu with a slightly higher winning percentage at 70% overall. So decider win percentage a little bit lower compared to regular match win percentage on Akatu's side, but
Is that including friendlies
comparable
as well?
to each other. Yeah, it's just including everything.
Yeah, interesting thing to note as well, in terms of matches for ELO where things are on the line, of course, Akatu has about a 70% win percentage in those matches, but crucially, only an 52% win rate in Game 5s, which is about 16% lower than his actual win rate. 18-16 is his overall record, and only with one win in his last 3. But, of course, came into this with a 2-0 lead in the first 2 games, but those were granted courtesy of some early tops, but we'll see what Akatu can do here. 366-309.
Yeah, that last game there kind of given the gift back that Sam gave in game number 1. Each player now with one pop-up before the transition.
Yeah, although in Division 1 now, anything before 29 can be considered an early top at this stage because the sort of almost bare expectation is they make it there. And that's not us deciding that. That's the players deciding that for themselves by just how good they are.
He said SV 93% 29 rate and Akatu like 96%.
96. And they both rank in the top 10 of that, of all active players that are tracked for that. Sam first to 500k, Akatu 426.
Yeah, in our one game that did get to 29, Sam did have the lead going into the level 19 transition and then was able to build upon it going into level 29. And so looking to replicate that here. And right around a 2 Tetris lead, couple lines before the transition.
Yeah, and what you said there about building onto the lead going into the transition, which is what, of course, he has done in the past couple of games. That is something that is very characteristic of Sam's play if you look at the underlying data. Only in the top 20 for his fair median 19 transition, but in the top 10 for fair median 29. So has been consistently playing more efficiently as the speed gets faster. And will we see that again? Both players into level 19, 608 to 526. But yeah, a huge shout out to our stats team for CTL, just the wider classic Tetris community in general for providing us all with this invaluable information that we can sort of pick and process as commentators. So shout out to Marfram, Scout, and the whole CTL stats team, and the CTM stats team too. You guys are awesome. 644 for SV, 636 for Akatu.
Yeah, Akatu, cleaner board right now, has taken the lead. Sam just not really getting anything going here post-transition.
I really hope we haven't commentators cursed this one in terms of the efficiency. But Sam is getting the right pieces here and is digging through it quite well.
Yeah.
Nice adjustment to that T-piece with the bar coming down in column 7. That will help to make the route back down to the bottom much easier here for Sam, but Akatu continuing to pile on the pressure. Tetris now to go over 100,000 points into the lead at 777, but a dirty center well Tetris there for Sam to go to 694.
And Sam setting up dirty here again in column 2. Ooh, but blocks the well off. Misses the chance for a Tetris with 2 different long bars there.
But gets it on the third.
And set up once again. just trying to keep up this efficiency as best he can by going for these dirties, but the long bars just aren't coming at the right time.
Akatu's board not clean here either, so if Sam can get cleaned up quickly, could take this opportunity to eat into Akatu's lead here a little bit, as Akatu was probably waiting for a T-spin there, but didn't quite get it. Burns his way out of it instead, and will get a Tetris. So both players are now out of their digs, and Akatu still ahead by 120,000 points at 890. Sam on 770.
Yeah, Sam, though, a few lines behind here, so does have some room to get some Tetrises back before the level 29 transition.
And Akatu here with a hole in the stack again could set up on row 2. That is exactly what he's going to do here. Tetris both players, 840 to 963. Another Tetris here for Sam. Taking that line deficit and using it to his advantage here to keep within range of Akatu as we're about to gear up for level 29 once again. And it looks like this is going to be a showdown on the fastest speed that we go here in CTL. Max out into transition for Akatu, A08. Sam has 2 more Tetrises to go. Takes one,
Gets
burns
one
the
of
other.
them, 991 there.
So only 17,000 points, their difference into 29. So practically even in terms of their pace at the moment. Both players keeping low so far. Sam slowly getting this back, trying to get it back moved over to the right-hand side. Now has a row 2 set up, but a bar dependency in column 4 fills it in. Akatu misdrops a T-piece, but still able to work around this and still has some good parity, but a couple of misdrops here. Now up high and in danger. Doesn't get that J-piece rotated around correctly. So now an even more of a bit of parallel. Sam takes the lead here. A65 to A52. Akatu gets that square piece over. Okay, taking a couple of skims here. Is slowly bringing this down, but now needs a bar in column 2. Gets the bar, but now needs a huge 5-tap, but doesn't get it over! And Akatu is done at A60. And Sam with A89 will take game 5, will complete the reverse sweep. And what a comeback from Sam Vaughn to win the set 3-2.
Yeah, Sam really keeping up the streak of decider wins here. Really went full marks and said warm-up is done and really took control starting in game 3 there.
Yeah, that is a match that would make him proud for sure. And Summer B has come around and said that he is officially unwashed. He's dirty now. But with dirt comes grit, and with grit comes moments like this. Sam going for the bits, gets the bits, and a Tetris. Just in flow state. In flow state right now. But yeah, don't forget as well, if you enjoyed what you saw here, we'll go ahead and look at our match arena here. We're currently at $201.75 so far this season. All proceeds go to our players. At the end of the season, we currently have a goal of $1,000 that we try to hit as well. And that allows us to pay out our top 4 players in the playoffs. And at 2,000, we can pay out our top 8. But yes, your winner for this match, well, he's gone now, but Sam Vaughn! That's amazing timing there.
Oh, this is trouble. Nice tuck, but too many squares. And she's handling this very well. Gets the right side open, and bang, Tetris for Sidnev. But unfortunately, that sequence of pieces has caused Cobra to catch up a bit.